Working in a library, I see so many interesting books every day and find it hard to resist borrowing them when I come across them. I currently have 100 books checked out on my card, which is the maximum amount you can borrow. I'm interested in giving all of these a go. They are either ones I came across while browsing or put on hold specifically to fill prompts for a reading challenge. Either way, they all need to be read before I can return them to the library and borrow more. There's no way I can read 100 books quickly, but I need to make a start, so I have put together a spinner wheel to help select what we are going to tackle first. In this blog series, I'm going to try and get through 3 books. Some may be the start of a series, or they may be for a specific challenge. Who knows what the wheel will choose? I'm excited to find out and start getting some of these anticipated reads off my TBR. So welcome to my library challenge. Hi, welcome to Reads and Threads. My name's Kate. Hello if you're new here. Welcome back if you're joining us again. Today we are going to be doing episode 2 of our library series. I have 100 books out on my cardigan and I need to take some of them back. It's getting ridiculous. I have others at work that need to come home, so I need to read some stuff. And we need to get some of these back to the library. I have my trusty spinner wheel here, so we're going to do our first spin and see what our first read of this vlog is going to be. There are currently, let me just double check, 79 books on this spinner wheel. The limit on my library card is 100. So I do have a few anthologies out at the moment that I haven't included in this that I want to read through and see which one I want to use for Herkhead 3.0. And then I have a couple of books that I've already read that need to go back. That's where we're at. 79 of these are potential reads. So not only do we have the ones here, but I will show you in a sec, we do have the ones on the side, and you would have seen it in the cover photo in the background as well of the thumbnail. But yeah, let's have a bit of a look at the potentials. All the ones in the shelving are in alphabetical order. The ones that I've stacked on top are newer ones or ones that were on my TBR trolley that I bought in here. So they're not in any kind of order. Also, you might see this one. This technically is the second in the series and I haven't read the first. The first is on the spinner wheel because I do have that at work. So if I have to, I will swap one out. But yeah, hopefully that one, well, I really want to read it, so I do hope it comes up, but it will be a little bit harder to start it now if that one does come up. Let's have a look at the books that we're working with and then we will spin for our first book. Okay, so here is the shelves that we are working with. We have a couple on here that are on my actual TBRs coming up or this month. We also go down the side here and we have a decent amount on this bookshelf that I have had for a while. These are definitely needing to be read and sent back to the library. In the instance where we have a series like this one here, only the first book is on the spinner wheel. The same with this duology, the first book's on the spinner wheel. I just have both so that if I want to continue on straight away, I have that option. Let's do the spinner wheel and see what we're going to be reading. The jingle may have changed slightly because I was silly and didn't film that clip that you just saw in a different time. But anyway. Let's spin. Will show you as well as add in the screen recording. Let's go. We have Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. Where is that? That is here. I am very excited to get to this one. So let's pull her out and have a look at what she's about. So it says, the last male dragon, a desperate thief, a bond that will save the world or shatter it. Long ago, humans betrayed dragons, stealing their magic and banishing them to a dying world. Centuries later, their descendants worship dragons as gods. But the gods remember and they do not forgive. Since they were orphaned, Arcady has scraped a living thieving in the streets of Vatra, dreaming of a life among the nobility and revenge. When the chance arises to steal a powerful artifact from the bones of the Plaguebringer, the most hated person in Lumet history, they jump at it, for its magic holds a key to their dreams. But the spell has unintended consequences and drags Everin, the last male dragon, who was once foretold to save his kind, into the human world. Trapped and disguised as a human, Everin soon realizes that the key to his destiny and to regaining his true power lies in Qwordy. All he needs to do is convince one little thief to bond with him completely, mind, body, and soul, and then kill them. Yet the closer the two become, the greater the risk both their worlds will shatter. How intriguing. Like I said, I've heard such great things about this. I'm really excited to get to this one. I will update you when I am a little ways in and see how we are going. Hello, it is currently Wednesday. It is time for a check-in. And you're probably thinking, okay, we've hit 30% of Dragonfall. What are you thinking of it? How are you liking it? I got to page 35 and I'm DNFing this book. So the bookmark can come out. I'm not enjoying it at all. I do not like the way that this is written. I'm not liking the dragon's point of view at all. I actually think it's fairly badly written from what I did read. I had an ebook version as well that had a lot of errors, which was one that I paid for. So it wasn't like an ARC version of it, I don't think, but just not for me. I did end up having a look at a few of the reviews just to see if was I feeling the right thing, like what was I potentially missing if I did DNF it, and I don't think that there is anything that really sold me continuing on. A lot of the people were saying that they found it fairly hard to read. There was obviously dragons that had been shipped to another world by the humans who had kind of overthrown them, and there was only a few left, and one of them ends up coming back through a portal, and then the human girl that would have been our female main character has been ostracized and has this medallion around her neck, which is her ability for magic, and then it is not okay and she needed to steal an ancestor's one. That's about as far as I could get out of it. But yeah, so I won't be continuing on. This one will be going back to the library. I am super excited to find out what we will be reading though now. Where did I put this? Put that there. I have taken back a few of the anthologies that I had checked out for Herked, ones that I decided that weren't going to work for me, and have brought back a few more books. So I have rearranged, and there is a giant stack here on top of the little bookcase that I have done here now, which is massive. It's going past my light switch in this room. But we now have 82 books in this spinner wheel. So let me screen record. Even though I technically have 2 books that I'm currently in the middle of, I have the day off. I will be doing a little bit of editing, but I really want to know, and we need to get some of these read. Let's find out what our next read is going to be. Crap, I don't even think I have that one here. Do I? Did I not take one out properly? So we did get Dating After the End of the World. I thought I'd updated this properly and taken out the ones that I had to return to the library and have back on hold, which that was one of them. So I don't have that one, so let's spin again. Sorry about that. So I lied, there's only 81. Okay, we got Heavenly Bodies by Amani Ereru. Woohoo! And I do have that one here, so that will work. We'll hide that slice. This will be our next book, so let's read what this one about. You know, the most dangerous kind of villain, a woman with nothing left to lose. In a world ruled by the stars, cruel and merciless gods, Alara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but it will kill them both. When the star of wrath and war descends to hunt Alara, the neighbouring kingdom sees an opportunity to take her from her home, the kingdom of night, to Hellas, the kingdom of light, where she strides straight into the arms of an enemy prince. There Alara is forced to either let Prince Lorenzo train her into a weapon worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars, or to accept her fate. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Alara's veins, and with it all, the undeniable star-crossed pull between them. I have heard really good things about this one. I know Becca from Becca and the Books really loved it, and a few other people that I follow on YouTube. So hopefully this one is a winner. I will give this one a go, and I'll get back to you hopefully with a good update that we are continuing on. Hello, I owe you an update. I read a little bit more of this than I was planning before I came on to tell you what I was thinking. So I'm really enjoying this one. I'm loving the magic setup and the world building with all the stars as gods, and that it's been really cool. Alara and Enzo are great. I love both of them, and it's not pulling any punches. It's graphic and aggressive in parts where it needs to be. Alara is a princess who is being kidnapped but is now in hiding, and it's been prophesied that she is going to marry the king of the stars, and then they are both going to die by her hand, pretty much. She's going to kill them, and she can't be killed by a star, which is one of the gods, and she's hiding in their enemy neighboring country. So their mortal enemy has taken her in and wants to use her to actually kill the king of the gods, pretty much. There she meets Enzo, who is the prince of the neighboring kingdom, and they start to work together to get her powers to come into fruition. She has this block that is stopping her from reaching her full potential because of things that have happened to her as a child, and I am loving it. I am listening to this on audio, which is one of the reasons that I am flying through it, because I can listen to it at work while I'm doing the majority of the stuff that's just at my desk. And then when I get home, if I am playing Disney during my valet, which you would have probably seen in a previous clip, if I'm not on FaceTime with my sister while we play, then I'm probably listening to my audiobook. So I did get a fair bit listened to that tonight as well. So I'm now like 60% in. I'm up to chapter 42. So we're 300 pages through. I could see me finishing this maybe tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure how much of the audiobook I have left. So if not tomorrow, then definitely on Saturday. We're about to go into a weekend where I don't have a huge amount of plans, so that's going to be really good. Once I have finished this, I'll be able to spin our spinner wheel again and we can find another book. Like I said, loving it. Can't wait. I feel like I'm going to give this 5 stars at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. The narration's great. I was a little worried at the beginning about the voice that they were putting on for Enzo, that I wasn't going to like it, but I've gotten used to it. It was just it took me a few chapters to get used to the voice that they were using and really, really enjoying it. Love the cover on this one as well. This would have been perfect if I was doing this next month for Adventures in Eldia, because I needed something with a star on the cover. This has a lot of constellations, so I'm wondering if I could use it for my Hercad prompt as well for my birthday, for like my zodiac sign, possibly. Maybe. Or the meaning of my name being pure. I don't know. But if you think so, let me know. I will find another prompt to use it for if I can't use it for either of those. But really, really liking this one. Can't wait to see what is going to happen. And knowing that the next book is out, I can pretty much maybe just jump fairly quickly into that one. And I don't think it's too long, hopefully, for the third one. But I could be wrong because I know that the second book only came out this year. But yeah, really, really enjoying my time with it. We are back in front of my library books. So you know what that means? I have finished Heavenly Bodies and I absolutely loved this. I had such a good time with it. It was fast-paced, intriguing, and it was a really unique world, a magic system. I just ate it up. I love the shadow and light powers, and then the forcing, and the idea that some people could have 3 powers and it was called the 3. I loved Alara and Enzo and their relationship. I thought that was really good. And that ending, oh my God. I am so intrigued to get to the next one. Unfortunately, with the library challenge and my library vlogs, I don't have the next one. I have added a couple of new books to the shelves that had to come out from the library. I know that in the intro it says I have 100, and for the most part I do. I have 100 things currently checked out on my card, but there are a couple of things that are more changeable. So like I had a cross stitch magazine or something like that, so I can take it back. And then I had a lot of those anthology books that I was checking out for Hercad. So of the 100, there were a few that I could manipulate to bring home to add to this. But if you have not checked out Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriuru, I highly recommend it. I cannot wait to get to the next book. I think that I should be able to, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if not sooner. But I think it will work really well for my August prompt for my Adventures in Eldia, so I am tempted to use it for that. The audio version is really good. That's what I have been listening, what I listened to this on. I got it out from the library as well, so I used my Libby app. And really now eager to probably get my hands on the Fairy Loot copies of these, because those covers are stunning. And at the moment, loving this series. It's going to be a trilogy. Book 2 is out. I'm not sure exactly when book 3 is coming out, but really, really excited now to get to that one. So 5 stars from me. Loved, loved, loved it. Pick it up. But we need to figure out another book. So let's spin the wheel, because I need an audio, because that was my audio read. Like I said, have added a few more books to the shelves. So one being, I think, Wicked Onyx, since I last updated you, by Debbie Cassidy. So that's come in here. What else? Vow of Vengeance, I think, was one. Like, look at these sprayed edges. It's stunning. Really eager to get to that one. There definitely were a few others. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue's on there, which is technically my book club pick. I'm not overly fussed about reading that one, to be honest. If that did come up, it would obviously mean that I had to read it. I will be reading it anyway, or at least attempting to, so, but that would be handy. Anyway, ow, sorry. What are you doing? I have a cheeky monkey who wanted to come and have a cuddle. You're climbing up my leg. Hey, you're climbing up my leg. Go to bed. Alright, let's spin. I'm going to screen record and find out what our next book's going to be. Hopefully it's one I can get an audio of. There we go. Let's find out. We got The Witch Collector by Carissa Weeks, which I think is actually on my TBR this month. So that works out really well. Let me find it and I get it out. one was jammed in the very bottom because it's under weeks. So we have The Witch Collector by Krista Weeks. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is on my current TBR, so that works really well. This one says, every harvest moon, the Witch Collector rides into our valley and leads one of us to a home of the immortal Frost King to remain forever. Today is that day, collecting day. But he will not come for me. I, Rihanna Bloodgood, have lived in this village for 24 years, and for all that time he has passed me by. His mistake. Rihanna Bloodgood has one desire, kill the Frost King and the Witch Collector who stole her sister. On collecting day, she means to exact murderous revenge. But a more sinister threat sets fire to her world. Rising from the ashes is the collector, is Alexis Theobald, the man she vowed to slay and the only person who can help save her sister. Thrust into an age-old story of ice, fire and ancient gods, Rihanna must abandon vengeance and aid the Witch Collector, or let their empire and her sister fall into enemy hands. But the lines between good and evil blur, and Rihanna has more to lose than she imagined. What is she to do when the Witch Collector is no longer the villain who stole her sister, but the hero who's stealing her heart? I really do love the cover on this one as well. I think it's so pretty. So hopefully I can get my hands on an audio of this. Otherwise, we might have to wait a little while before I can pick this one up because I am physically reading Fury Bound at the moment. So wouldn't be able to get to this one. So let me just check to see if I can get this on audio or not. Okay, I've had a look. I can't get this straight away on audio, which is a little sad. I am a member of the Queen's Public Library as well as the South Australian Public Libraries, and both of them have a decent wait. I was wrong. I was getting this confused with A Court of Winter for some reason, which is the book on my TBR. So this will be one of our library books, but this one might take a little while to get to. So that will be going on this stack. But I'm going to hide the slice because we are definitely going to be reading that in this video. But let's spin again and see if I can get an audio. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've been meaning to get to this. Romance is definitely not a hugely read genre for me. I like romance in my fantasy, but then general romance, not so much. But this one says, after a wild bet, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. The complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra-wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor, and every time she spends with Daniel and the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering what's really important. Yet letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up on the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? Hopefully I can get this one on audio. Either way, we won't spin again. These will be my next two books. We have Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez and The Witch Collector by Krista Weeks. So I will update you when I'm a little ways into one of them. Sunday morning, and I realized that yesterday I probably could have got through this entire book. I didn't. In the end, I spent the last few hours of the day playing Disney Dreamlight Valley with my sister. But before that, I was mucking around on my computer with my spreadsheets, my journal, all that kind of stuff. And I just had the audio on the whole time. It is very consumable. It's very easy to listen to. We do have a dual narration with the male and female points of view, which is great. And I'm not having a good time. Like I said, it's very easy to listen to. We are following Alexis and Daniel. Daniel is like a little small town homebody kind of guy. He is 10 years younger than Alexis. So there is that. She is a doctor in Minneapolis. She is from a very high-powered family who has a lot of expectations on her. And she goes and gets stuck in a ditch and meets Daniel, who is just wholesome and nice and down to earth, has his crap together, and she falls for him. She thinks she's just going to have a one-night stand and catches feelings instead. Not that she will admit it for the majority of the book. I do feel like this is leading, and it's not quite there yet, to that third act breakup kind of thing. That I think that might be one of the reasons that I don't overly love romance as a genre. Like, just be honest from the beginning. I don't know, maybe I'm just cynical. I don't know who it is, but I just don't understand the need to not tell people. And I get from the beginning she was thinking she was trying not to have a relationship. She didn't want to get involved in anything. She was coming through a messy breakup. She has suffered verbal abuse for a significant portion of her time with her ex. So there is that. I do understand that. I don't dislike it. I don't fully love it either. Like, it's not going to be a 5-star for me, but I'm enjoying my time. It's very bingeable, easy, and like I said, I could have got this done in an entire day. And I am kind of blown away by that fact that I can read a like 390 odd page book in a day. For me, that just is wild. I don't do that. I would have definitely struggled with a few challenges that I've seen that other people have done, but it is quite good. So that will be finished by the end of the day, which leads me to my next problem, that I would need another audio. And I think I am just going to pick up The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So we're not going to spin for our next one. I already have this out on audio, and then when I have finished Furybound, I will potentially physically read this, or hopefully in a little while the audio for The Witch Collector will come in and we can do that by audio. So these are going to be my next two. And then that'll probably wrap up the vlog. That will be a good 5-book stack. And I think that is potentially how this one is going to go. And that will let me take these ones back and obviously borrow some more, which is the point of the video. That's my thinking today. I don't really have much on other than I want to do a bit of filming, maybe a bit of editing, and yeah, get to some reading. Hopefully you're having a really good weekend. Let's get to it. Hello, a little bit of an update. I did just finish Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I did enjoy this one overall. It wasn't too bad for romance. It wasn't so cringy that I couldn't listen to it. I did enjoy the characters and the setting. I find it extremely annoying when characters aren't honest with each other though. And I feel like, especially in romance, they're purposely, sorry, I'm on a weird angle. They're purposely not honest with each other so that you can get to that inevitable breakup moment, and then they get back together when they realize they can't live without each other. Like, I know all that going in, but it still drives me insane. And through most of this, our main female character, Alexis, is keeping secrets. She's not telling Daniel everything that is going on in her life, because she's still under the impression that she is not going to fall in love with him. She's not going to be able to leave all the stuff that's going on in her life behind or integrate it so that they can have a chance together. So she's just constantly telling herself it can never work out, that she essentially doesn't try, though doesn't realize that it's all getting under her skin at the same time. So as far as they go, it was really good. I did enjoy myself. Right at this second, have no idea what I'm going to give this book. The audio was well done. It was really good. It was easy to listen to. I got through it pretty quick. I could have got through it in a day, like I think I said in a previous clip, but I'm thinking overall 3.54 stars maybe. It just was a fun, easy time and super fast to get through. So it wasn't a bad audio, and I'm glad that I've tried it. I think I am intrigued enough to continue on and see what happens with the next one. I think that the next story revolves around Abby's best friend, Bree, which would be interesting to see what ends up happening with her. And then I'm pretty sure that Steph from Steph Loves said that you kind of see these characters again later on, and I do like it when they do that. Nora Roberts does that a lot with her trilogies and that kind of stuff, where you can see the previous characters. I just wish that we didn't have to have the dishonesty or the leaving out pertinent information kind of thing. I just think I would prefer it. And do they have to always break up? Like right before the end? Like, I know it's more dramatic, so then they get together and you get the like ending kiss and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes I just wish we had just the romance. But would it be as intriguing without the drama? Probably not. So I don't know. Actually, like I said, I did enjoy myself. That does lead me to needing another book to read, which we did talk about, and I was about to go start The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which was going to be our 5th book, and the Witch Collector's audio has come in from the library, the Queen's Public Library version. So I am going to start this one, which was the book that I was originally meant to start. This one, I think it said, was a 13-hour audio, which isn't too bad. We're looking at about not much different in page length. So maybe the narrator just talks a little bit slower because it's got a 3-hour add-on to this one. But yeah, so this is going to be my next read. We've already gone through the back on what this one is about. So I will update you when I am a little bit in to see how we're tracking. Hello, the day is very quickly coming to an end. It is 4:45 now, which is insane. It goes so quick. The weekend is almost over and it's been awesome. It's been relaxing and productive. I've got a lot done, but I just always want more time. Who doesn't? The cats have been really good this weekend. Lucy and Raven have both learnt how to get out into the cat run, which is awesome, without me pushing them through the cat flap. So that's been good. And they've been going in and out all day today. I have now got to 30% of The Witch Collector. I'm not going to hold it up because Lucy's on my lap and I probably can. I was just going to say I can't with this arm because it's wrapped around Lucy so she doesn't fall off. I have managed to get my hands on the audio. We are following Raina as she attempts to rescue her sister who was taken by the Frost King via the Witch Collector, and I think she is just extremely sheltered and hasn't been told a lot of information and is just out for vengeance. She wants to go find her sister. She thinks that if she does find her, she's going to be saving her from an awful fate. Though her village is taken over by a rival kingdom or a rival king at the very beginning, and her mother is killed within this. So I can manage to do it this way because the light is a lot better on this side. she's pretty much left with no one. Most of her village is wiped out at the beginning, and so she only has the witch collector to turn to, even if she even wants to attempt to hope to find her sister. It's intriguing. It's an interesting world. I think the thing that's setting it apart at the moment is our main character seems to be mute. She definitely needs to sign to communicate, which is interesting. They are doing it slightly weird on the audio from the fact that when she signs, they're really slowing it down, and it's making it slightly disjointed in the way that her speech is conveyed, which is possible. Like, it'd take a lot longer if someone was interpreting the sign language, and so you kind of get that feel from it, especially if you're not a fluent sign language reader. So that is interesting. Also, the narrator for the main male character, Alexei, the witch collector, his voice is extremely deep, and the speed that he talks is slightly different than hers. So I've had to put my speed for my audio down just slightly, because I found, even though I could understand what he was saying at 1.6, it was a struggle to really understand what he was saying a lot of the time. It was starting to blur together a bit, and I think a lot of it has to do with his accent and the depth of his voice, and then the speed. So we've gone down to 1.55. Even just that half the, what is it, thing of speed, whatever that measurement is making it a lot easier. So I've just gone into part 2. So I think I'm about a chapter into part 2. So I think now we're at page like 106. So I'm at the end of that chapter. So exactly 30% according to my audio. And Alexei and Raina are together at the moment, and she's learning some truths about herself that she didn't realize, and he knows more about her sister, a lot more about her sister than she does, because he's known her for the last 8 years that her sister has been with the Frost King. So yeah, intrigued at the moment. I'm enjoying it. It's fine. The sign language, like I said, is definitely making it interesting and unique. And it's interesting with their powers as well. She is a seer, and any witch seems to have these tattoos that appear on their body if they have any power. And to use their power, they have to sing songs. So that's hard for her because she can't talk. She's signing the songs or kind of singing them in her head somehow. Yeah. So, it's interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see how her character develops and how her interactions with Alexei change her thinking at the moment, because I think that that's definitely going to happen. So I'm enjoying it. I probably won't update you again until I'm finished. And now that I'm going back to work, and I think I've had a long week this week, I've got 6 days. So I don't know how much I'll physically get read. Audio is generally a bit easier even at work, so that should be okay. But we'll see how we go. Even though I could have read physically today, I have just been doing some stuff on the computer. I'm about to do some editing, and I filmed a video. My sister came over with my niece. So it's just been easier to get things done via audio. So that's been quite good. My cat is now asleep on my lap, which does bode a problem. It's gorgeous and everything, but now I can't move. Anyway, hopefully you've had a good weekend or day whenever you are watching this, and I'll see you in the next clip. It is Tuesday night. I have just finished The Witch Collector by Teresa Weeks. It was okay. I didn't have a good or bad time with it. Like, it was fine. I didn't really feel much about the story. Like, I didn't feel sucked in. I didn't feel like I couldn't put it down, or like I had to keep reading. It was just on. It didn't take very long either, so that was good. I don't know that this is one that I'll continue on with. Like I said, the story was interesting. There was battles and they were on the run, but it wasn't high stakes. It didn't feel like anything wasn't going to turn out okay. Yeah, it was fine. It was fairly good. I do really like this cover. I think that's really pretty. Glad that I have managed to get it off my list and give it a go. I have also started our last book of this vlog, which is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This one, again, I am listening to Although if I wanted to, the same with any of these, I could have picked up the physical book and read along as well. Whether I do that, I don't know. This one's a bit thicker. This is my book club book. Well, an option as my book club book for August. So I had to have this one done by August 9th, I think. So I just thought this was the best way to get it off my list. I'm not a huge fan generally of historical, and the other V.E. Schwab that I have tried, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, had changing timelines that I didn't really get along with either. I'm not massively great with time jumping and that kind of stuff. So I think the premise of this one will be interesting from the point of view that Addie seems to be 300 years old somehow, and no one who meets her remembers her. So something has happened, she's made this deal, and everyone she interacts with doesn't know that she's there. So they'll talk to her, and then within a few hours they've forgotten she even exists. Within a few minutes sometimes they've forgotten she's even existed. I have listened to about an hour, so not very far in. I think I'm in chapter 6 maybe. We've gone back in time to when Addie is a little girl in France, and then forward in time where she is now currently living in New York and hooking up with a musician called Toby. But yeah, if I end up not liking this one, I think this is probably going to be the last V.E. Schwab that I try. I never really was that interested in trying this one. At this stage, I don't feel like I'm going to like this, but I will try and give it a chance and not have that hopefully influence my overall thoughts of the book. But I'm not overly excited, let's say, to read this one. But like with all my book club books, I do generally try to give them a go. We'll see how we go. It's about 9:30ish, so I'm going to do a little bit of editing. I had a really crap day at work today. I spilled my coffee. It looked like there was some rando person hanging out the front of my house, and then just general things. Every time I seemed to do something, I felt like I was hurting myself. So played a bit of my game tonight, and I think I'm just going to veg a little bit, but I do need to get my video edited. So I'm going to edit for maybe half an hour, see if I can get a little bit done so I don't have to do as much tomorrow night, and then maybe just sit down with my book and read, because I am also physically reading a different book that I wouldn't mind just doing that for a while. I didn't get any time at lunch today to physically read, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll see you when I'm a little bit further into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and see how we're going. I am about 50 pages now into The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I'm not having a good time. The audio is done well. The narrator is great. Turns out is the same narrator as the narrator for Part of Your World. So I was like, I know that voice. And so I looked it up today while I was at work. So nothing against the narrator herself. I am just not enjoying this book. It is very slow. I don't think the plot is moving overly quickly. Not much has happened other than her meeting a few people, realizing she can't say her name, her making the deal to begin with, but then there's also this jump backwards and forwards in time, and I cannot stand it. I hate time jump, time travel, any kind of thing where we're going backwards and forwards in timelines and then they're probably going to converge at some point, or you find out the beginning of the story as you're going through the end of the story. I can't do it. There are so many other books that I would rather be reading right now or listening to, and this is just not for me. I don't think that really any of those kind of dual timeline books are for me. The other one that I could have read that was the pick for this month was Yesteryear for my book club. That does not appeal to me in the slightest either. Again, we're going back in time. So it's just something about it. I can't deal with it. I don't Don't like time travel. I don't think it's for me. So I am going to be DNFing this one. I think I was just like reading it because when I got back in the car when I was leaving work and the audiobook came on, she is waking up and all of a sudden she's got a son. And I'm like, where did they come from? And there was no explanation. They obviously don't remember who she is because she's made this deal. But I'm like, do you know what? I'm not even that interested to find out. I've heard there is lots of people that love her writing and love this book. Unfortunately, I just don't think V. Schwab's an author for me, because even when I was listening to it, the way that she was describing everything, I didn't feel like drawn into the character. Like I didn't feel like I was following the character. I was just hearing her story. Like I was literally just like reading a journal. Like it just, there felt this disconnect, I think is what it is. I just felt disconnected from the story. Yeah, just not for me. So that does now wrap us up. So we have 5 books that we did manage to get through, most of them. So we did end up having 2 DNFs, which is fine. So we had Dragonfall and The Invisible Life of Lady LaRue that we will not be continuing on. We did, however, have a 5-star read. I absolutely loved my time with Heavenly Bodies. Highly recommend checking that one out if you haven't already. The Witch Collector was okay. It was a good listen. Fine for me. I gave it a 3 stars, I think. And then Part of Your World. I am intrigued to see what happens next in that series. I think I only gave it 3.5, but that was a solid 3.5 for me. I enjoyed my time. It was fairly easy to listen to, entertaining. I have an issue with romance, which I know about, but I am trying to work on. So we'll be reading the next one and hopefully getting, I think it's Bree's relationship next. So pretty good. And I can now take these back to the library, which is awesome because I have 8 books, I think, on hold at work to bring back. Which one of these have you read that was your favorite? If I didn't like the ones that you liked, sorry. This is why we all have different reading tastes. You may not have liked the ones that I really liked, but I'd love to know one way or the other what you loved or didn't love about any of these books. So please feel free to leave that down in the comments. And this is just the end of another awesome reading vlog. So hopefully you've enjoyed. There's so many cool things that you can get from your library and do and access. So do please go check out your local library and support them, because I know that even around the world, there's a lot of libraries that are struggling to get funds. So use your library, people, and just support your local area. If you'd like to, please do think about hitting that like button, subscribing as well. There are 600 of you, so thank you very much. I have also linked down below my Goodreads, my Storygraph, and my Instagram, so please do feel free to come and follow me over on any of those. And from us, we hope you have a really fantastic weekend. Yeah, we do, don't we? Yeah, you say, hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah. And see you next time. Bye.